guys, Dalana B here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for returning. If you are a new subscriber, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you're an old subscriber, hey girl, hey. So in this video, we are going to go over the Jaclyn Hill times Morphe Vault Collection palette collection, whatever you want to call it, that she released. There was a lot of controversy surrounding these palettes because there was a release a few months ago and the reviews that she got back from the release was not good. So she took back all of the old palettes and she re-released some new ones a few days ago. And so I did get my hands on the Vault Collection palette. And in this tutorial video demo, I will be going over one of the palettes, which is the Dark Magic palette. I will be doing a live demonstration with this palette, but there will be swatches for every single palette in this video. So it's not like I just did one palette. I did the entire collection of swatches, but I only did one look for one of the palettes, if that makes sense. But I did use most of the colors in the palette that I could use. Some of them I was able to work with, some of them I wasn't, but you guys will have to keep on watching to see exactly what I mean by that. Overall, I do like the way that the look came out. I think it came out really nice. But Jaclyn girl, I mean, I see what you're doing here. Like, you literally took the palette that you had a whole of, broke it down, and re-released it. Like, it's genius if you ask me. Now, if you already have that other palette, you might feel like you were cheated. I don't have that palette, so I didn't really feel that way, but I did see what she did there. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. If you guys are interested in this look, plus swatches and a demonstration of the Jaclyn Hill Vault Dark Magic palette, as well as swatches for all of the Vault, then keep on watching. Okay, so before we jump into the video really quick, I want to just break down each palette and kind of show you guys the swatches for each palette. The first one is the Ring the Alarm palette, and this one has like reds in here, some neutral colors, and it's a really nice palette. I will say that the three outside of the one that I did the tutorial on, they do swatch a little bit better than the Dark Magic palette. I don't know if it's because those colors are darker colors or what, but most of the other three swatch very better than that Dark Magic palette. You guys can see this one, this one shows up and the swatches aren't as bad. You can kind of get a feel for what they will look like on your eyes. I do think that the pigmentation in these palettes are bomb for those that you can see. I feel like those browns and some of those yellows you can't really see, but for the most part, the pigmentation is pretty good on these palettes. The next one that I want to break down is Armed and Gorgeous, and this one is the yellows of the palette, and I do feel like this green color here, which is Top Secret, is kind of like the green one that I used in this tutorial today. A lot of these colors, I will say, when they swatch, they kind of swatch identical to others that's in another palette. And that kind of would make sense, being that there are 4 different palettes, and sometimes palettes can have replica colors or colors that are similar to the ones that may be in another palette. So being that the release was all of them together, I kind of can't gripe about it too much, being that it is, you know, different kind of palettes. And like I said, sometimes palettes do replicate some colors because she's probably thinking, okay, well, this palette, you need a neutral tone, you need a transition shade. So that's probably what she was thinking. I'm hoping that's what she was thinking, and she just didn't put the same colors in the palette. But again, you never know what the thought process is when it comes to creating these eyeshadow palettes. And then Bling Boss, which, like I said, I'll say later, is actually probably my favorite of them all. I just like the way all the colors look. I love the way that they swatched. These colors are, like I said, very pigmented. What I will say about the packaging of this, not so much the packaging, but just I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but when I swatch these to do swatches for you guys, the color transferred to the actual packaging. So the eyeshadow transferred to the packaging on the palette, and for me, that's just a pet peeve of mine because I don't like to have dirty palettes, but it is what it is. But just from swatching it, you can tell that there's some transfer and it's going to be some fallout when you're actually applying it on your face. I can say though that it wasn't too bad, but it's there. So if that's something that you don't really care for, then this palette is probably going to annoy you a little bit, simply because just by swatching it, there is fallout and there is, you know, color transfer from pan to the actual packaging. So that would be like the only downside that I feel would as far as like packaging and things. Like her packaging, as far as like the packaging on here, is just pretty basic, which I think is cute. I mean, there's some glitter like metallics on the packaging, so you know, it's not really anything fancy. It's just really simple and I like it. I like the white on white and then the silver with the little pop of, what is this, lilac or whatever, purple, whatever it is. I do like the fact that it comes in a box. That way I won't have to try and figure out like storage for these. I can just stick them back in the original box that it did come in. I do like, let me show you guys this. I do like that she has this little in the box. So this is the box. And she has this little thing. You see how that came up? Instead of me having to try and fight to get the palettes out because they are side by side, she has this little thing where you just pick this up and all the palettes come out. So I thought that was very convenient. And she thought about, you know, it might be hard to get these palettes out of this box. So let me add something in here to make it easier for the consumer to be able to get the palette out. So I did like that she did that. But yeah, let me just stop rambling. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay, so for starters, we are just going to jump right into the eye look. This is what it looks like. It's super cute. Although I would have preferred to have gotten the actual vault. And then this is the box, the outside, and it just has a message from Jaclyn on the back. So, yeah. The one that I want to do a look with today, though, and just kind of give you guys a background of the palettes and everything, is the Dark Magic palette, and it's the one with like the greens and everything in it. Because there's a lot of people that were saying that the greens were like hard to work with. Do a quick little demo for you guys to see if, you know, there was any change in the product. I mean, I wouldn't know. I didn't have the original one that they released, I guess, a few months back, but I wanted to see, you know, if I would be able to work with it, if it really was as bad as people were saying it was. So we're going to start out with doing a look from the Dark Magic palette. Alright, so for my base, I'm using a new base, and I finally got a chance to get my hands on the P. Louise, what do you call these, base, just the P. Louise base, and I'm going to use the one in Rumor 3. And this is the first time I'm using this, so I really don't know how it's going to work. I've read that it is, or from watching other people use it, people were saying that it's best that you do not set the concealer or the base. So I'm just going to put this all over my lid. Okay, so to start out, we are going to start with this Potion color, and it is the lightest in the pan. So we're just going to start out with this light green, and we're going to use this as our transition shade. And I'm using my Morphe 504 brush. There is fallout from the palette or from the pan. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there is fallout from the pan. So I probably shouldn't have done my eyeshadow before. So just from applying this color, the pigment is there, as you guys can see. It's very pigmented. It's not as smooth as Morphe's other shadows are sometimes. You know how Morphe, they're very like, not creamy, but they tend to go on very well. and smooth. This one is not like that. I don't know if maybe it's because I didn't let the base dry out or if it wasn't tacky enough. But I mean, overall it does blend very well. I have no issues with blending it. It just, I guess the initial of putting it on didn't go as I expected it to, or as Morphe's other palettes do. But as far as blending it, there's no problem with the blenderization of the color. Like I said, the pigment, as you guys can see, is there. I don't know if you can, like when I just put that in there, how it kind of got stuck right up in there. So it does have some patches in it. And I also don't know if you guys can tell or not, but right in this area, it's more like the color kind of got stuck right there instead of it being blown out. Like I'm not able to really blow it out the way I would like to, because the color is literally stuck like right in that crease, like right in that area. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with another brush and see if a clean brush, and see if I can blow it out a little bit better. But I'm not mad at the pigmentation of it. I honestly thought that this color was gonna be a little bit lighter, but it's coming off on camera as like almost like a forest blue green almost. I like the color of it though, really pretty. Now I'm just going in with my Morphe Y15 brush, and I'm trying to blow out that crease color because I don't want it to be so harsh. And I did see some reviews saying that this green was hard to work with, and I see what they're talking about. Like, it's not, it's blending, but it's not, you gotta really put some work into it. Like, you really have to put some elbow grease into it, because it is kind of hard to blend. As far as like if you're trying to get that blown out look, this green color is not the best. Let me just say that. And I've worked with greens before and I didn't have these issues. So I don't know if it's maybe just this color. I don't know. But I'm a little, well, I'll keep working with it before I say what I feel. But yeah. Okay. So we got that blended as best as we could. And so now I'm going to go in with a smaller brush so that I can control where I'm going to place this. I don't even know what color this is. It's like it's a green as well, but I can't really tell what kind of green. But it's this inside job color here. And I'm just going to go right under, like under the crease, like in my crease with a smaller brush. And this is my Morphe. I don't know what number this is, but I'm just going to go in with this. It's almost like all of these just look blue to me, and I don't know. But we're just going to go right underneath to kind of darken up that crease a little bit. And we're not going to go, I'm going to concentrate this right on the outer crease and just kind of fade it into the inner crease, if that makes sense. Now I will say this is a really pretty color, and I'm not having any issues with blending. As you guys can tell, it blended very well into that green. So I'm not mad at that. So that one didn't do too bad. I didn't really have any issues with that one, but I did kind of lose a little bit of that green. So I'm just going to go back in and just add that green right on top of that, just a little bit. The areas that I feel like I lost the color, I'm just going to go and add that green right back in there. I want to try, I'm going to try and do at least 4 colors in this palette. Now I'm going to try and, let's see, I'm going to use this blue busted color. And it's this blue here. And I'm just going to go right into that crease again and deepen it up even more. And this is a Luxie 231 small tapered blending brush. And I'm just really trying to show you guys the depth of this palette and where you can go with it and what you can do with it, and use as many colors as I possibly can to do so. And I'm trying to use like different brushes to see, you know, how the product works with different brushes and things of that nature. So this is I got this brush from like out of an Ipsy glam bag, and I will say that the blues that I'm using are way easier to work with than that green. I don't know what it is about that green, but the blues aren't giving me as hard of a, I don't have to work as hard to blend it out with like I did with the green. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this crease, and I'm just going to fly. I'm gonna fast forward this part. Okay, so now that we got that kind of cut crease going, because this P. Louise base, I'm gonna have to play with it because it was hard to do. But now that we got that going, I'm kind of drawn to this power cut right here, and it's like a silver color. And so I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna use that as my lid color, and we're just gonna take it, and for this we're gonna put it, let's see, all over the lid. And I have to say that the pigmentation on these are really good. And I'm just patting it on because I was swiping it. I don't know if you guys can tell that I was just swiping it, but I feel like patting it on makes it go on a little bit better. Kind of reminds me of like a gunmetal type color. That busted color, because I really like the way the color, you know, it looks. And that's just this blue. And I'm going to just, where the places that I just was in, I'm just going to cover those with this color. With just a clean brush. This is a clean Sigma E40 brush. I am blending everything. No products are being added. Then off camera, I'm going to go ahead, do my wing liner and put on my lashes. I'm going to use the the Salon Perfect 615 lashes. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Finish off my lip and everything, and then I'll come back and give you guys you know, pretty much my thoughts on this Jaclyn Hill Dark Magic palette. Overall, you know, I do like I said, the look. I do like the palette. It's just that one color, or it was like a couple of colors in there that I didn't really too much care for. I didn't really care for any of these three here. So these three weren't really my favorites. But I mean, overall, I did enjoy the way that the look came out. I did enjoy creating this look here. I have been wanting to do like a greenish, bluish looking color eye for the longest time, and so when I saw the palette, I just knew that this was the color that I wanted to do it with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do an additional video for each palette doing a look. I just felt like it would be too much to try and incorporate all of these palettes into one video. Like, I don't want you guys to have to sit here for like 30 minutes, and you know, I just think it would be easier if I were to do it that way. But you can see all of the swatches in the video for all four palettes, but I will be doing different looks for each palette in different videos, if that makes sense. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know which palettes you did pick up, if you did purchase any of the palettes. Let me know which ones you guys purchased. If you have not seen any of my previous videos, go ahead and check those out. If you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Make sure you turn on the notification bell so that you are notified every single time I upload a new video. And until next time, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.